Well, here we are. We got Tony here from Arizona. Last year, if you watched any of our videos, he got a buck last year with a bow, and he got another one now. So there you go, Tony.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's his buck. Not too bad. Yeah, that'll get him every time. So that must be one of them that we've had on camera.
I think it's the one we saw this morning.
Yeah, I think he was here this morning, yeah. So anyway, well, it's sun's getting low, so we'll get him out of here. And the one that I shot on our last video was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps is where mine died. And we didn't even have to knock down any more corn to get here. So anyway, yeah, anyway, so we're gonna load them up, take them home, hang them up, gut them out, and do the whole thing here so before it gets dark. So anyway, want to get down there and hold his head up or something so your wife will believe that you actually seen a deer. I see, I gotta touch this thing. Yeah, no, that's a nice buck, nice bow buck, absolutely. So anyway, that's it for now. Maybe next one will be skunks, maybe it'll be me shooting something with the rifle, I don't know. So anyway, well, getting dark. Well, I got sick of hunting. We don't have many deer, and all the deer they're all on my relatives' land, and I can't hunt there. So, and they were just saying, the neighbor said he had over 30 does over on his. Well, that must be where the bucks are too. So anyway, I just said I enough hunting, and I sat in one of my blinds for 6 nights, and the pheasant hunters drove me nuts 3 nights, and the other, well, all 6 nights I never seen a deer. So I just said, that's it, I'll come down here and with my bow, and that's really the only tag I had left because I put the wrong tag on the first deer. And so here I am down here and shot another one. I'm done now, and I don't need 2 deer. I got a crippled guy that's got a tag and cannot hunt. He had an accident, so I think what I'll do, trying to get this thing to work. Oh well, anyway, I think I'm gonna have to cut this one up and give it to him. He's got a tag, I don't know, I'll tag it with my tag, but give him the meat. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll turn this thing on when I get to the deer, but I got to get it gutted out quick. I ran home. I didn't even have a knife again. And, oh, there went another tail. But, so I got to get them gutted, and I got to pull them through thick brush for about 60 yards. So that's going to be a real sweet thing. I've called 6 people, but they're either not home, they're in town, or they're in a tractor, or they're in a deer blind. So I got no help. So anyway, for now, that's it. Well, anyway, here we are back here, starting to get dark, and I gotta get them gutted quick. And then I've got to get some beaver traps set. I want some beaver meat before fisher season coming up. And these are really big bodied deer. Not much for rack, about like the other one. But I didn't like the angle, but he was starting to get real nervous. He was hearing something, it wasn't me, but he didn't like it. And I took him right behind the front leg on the other side, but it came out up here, and I didn't like that because you usually get the gut when you do that. But I was afraid he was gonna take off, yeah, on a dead run, because something was bothering him. So anyway, I don't know how in the world I'm ever gonna load that thing or even get it over to the pickup. So we got to get her done. I'm tired of deer hunting this year, and everybody's worrying about who's going to get the big one, so I'll just get meat. So that's it for now. Yeah, I just pulled in all my deer cameras, and I had a skunk on one, and so I'm setting for him a little bit. But what do you think? Now, I had 5 cameras in here, and 3 of them were shut off, and 1 card was missing. Do you think that's old age, or somebody is monkeying with me a little bit? So anyway, things do happen. Everybody doesn't have to like you, you know. Everybody's worried you might shoot a big one. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. That's it for now. Well, thank God deer season's over with. Get back to this trapping thing. Anyway, here I am this summer. I don't know how many of you followed us, but I had just one video this summer where the water level came up under the blacktop, and I go, oh, there's beaver back there at City Park again, and they pay me to keep them out of there. So I walked it. Here I found out where the excavator came in, took out some trees, took out a dam, but the water was still high. I never did find the dam, but I'm thinking it's under a railroad track down here a quarter mile. But anyway, so I came in here and checked this all out, and they're here again. Or they never left, I don't know which. So anyway, just down here looking to see, I brought a little stuff along. I'd like to have some beaver meat for fisher season in a few days. And well, this is not a good spot right here. I'd have to go over here because the deer cross right here. See, I think this was the old house they took out. I don't know. The excavator moved a lot of stuff. Could have been over there. I don't know. Well, anyway, so then I started looking, and boy, there's a trail here. I don't know if that's all beaver. They're really mudding her up. Holy smokes, they're really shining her up for winter. There's the food supply. So I'll throw in 3 or 4 sets. I don't think I've got the thing that puts on my forehead, so I'll have to wait and see. Maybe we can, hopefully tomorrow I'll have a cameraman again. But boy, they really shined her up here. They're getting ready for winter. But I think we can come up with something pretty easy here. And I don't know how deep that is. It looks like it's just drops into nowhere. Well, we'll figure out something. I don't know if that's all the beaver in here or not. I would think it is, but anyway, that's it for now. I gotta start hauling some stuff down here and checking some how deep the water is. So that's it for now. Well, I don't have the thing that puts on my forehead. Anyway, I made 2 sets here. I made one with corn and a mud pie over there, and put drowners running 2 different directions. It's so slippery there that I had to drive a stake in the ground to pull myself up. It's terrible. This gumbo here is just unforgiving. And I got a lure I'm using, and it's Judith and Dan Davis beaver lure made with pride. Okay, I was given it to me at our fall convention, and Alpha Delta caster lure. He said it's loved all the way from the south all the way to Alaska. So he wanted me to give it a try and tell him what I thought of it. So we're giving it a try, and it smells like beaver, and I love the smell of a beaver. So it's got that going for it, I'll tell you that. So anyway, that's it for right now. I'm going to go down here by the house. They're mudding her up good, but boy, I got down there, and it drops off like at least 4 feet right off the bank. So I've got to figure out something to do, because I got one more drowner, and then I might figure out how to let one run around on the bank till I get here tomorrow. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I might get back to you in a minute or two. Well, hopefully I'm more prepared next time, but I don't know, I might go set up another colony today. I don't know. So here we are. Got those two back there. And then I put a conibear in there where they're coming up here. I might have been able to get something down there, but it's just so slimy I can't stand up. I'll probably end up at the bottom in the water. And then over here, I put a dog proof in too to maybe keep a coon out of one of them, I don't know. And then over here, I got a mud pie at the bottom of that. So we'll see what happens. I got the smell of beaver all over me, so and I haven't even caught one yet, so that's all right. That's what it's supposed to be all about. So that's it for now. Well, I only did this one other time, and at one stop it worked, another stop it didn't work at all. So we're going to try it again. I don't have a cameraman, so I guess I got to learn how to do this. I'll probably drop it in the water. Let's see, I got my gun and my gloves for now, even though YouTube knows we don't shoot them. We just take care of them. So here we go. This is where I sat yesterday. I might be pointing at the moon, so bear with me. Got nothing in the dog proof. I'm going to go over here first. Well, I put a conibear down there and it got unset. Unless there's a muskrat in it, I don't know. Then it dropped off, it got too deep. So on here I just put one there and covered it up with grass. Well, I think I can get it down here now that I take a look at it. I got my hip boots today. They mudded her up more last night though. So let me see. I made one set over here. There's my gloves. Nothing there. You know, I found this in the past. I don't know if it happens all over the country. Once you get ice on the water, and we had ice on the water I think a couple times already, a little bit, they quit coming out. They'll mud their house, but they don't come out anymore. I got my gloves here. Well, maybe it's going to be a real disappointment. That I really thought that conibear would take. It's just so steep and so slimy, I can't stand up on the stuff. And I really don't want to cartwheel out into the water. Well, that's not what I was looking for. Good Lord. I tried to tell him it was beaver here this summer. No, there's no beaver in there. Nope. Then why did the excavator have to take out a dam? Well, there's no beaver in there. Well, that's about as juvenile as I care to get. I'm gonna put this thing down. I gotta stay on this side because there's too many dog walkers on the other side. Yeah, this is really a disappointment. So I don't even know if I can, let's see, I had to drive a stake in the ground to get up out of here yesterday. This is some bad stuff. You don't get much beaver meat dealing with them that size. You don't get much caster either. Oh, this is going to be tricky now. Okay. Hind foot. Well, I think I'm gonna shut this off and redo this one. I'm not gonna have a cameraman maybe all week, I don't know. Anyway, I thought those I could open these. You know, something about being over 80, you get weaker than all get out. So anyway, we keep trying whether we are old or not. So we didn't have much of a catch today. So anyway, I'm going to shut this off for now and get him out of there. If I could figure out how. Okay, I'm going to try this on my head again. We might not be able to use any of this. We got some ice on last night, so I don't know if the beaver will even attempt to come out. Once they get ice on, they don't seem to want to come ashore. I don't know if that happens everywhere, but it does here in this country. Okay, I did take some, got nothing here. Used a little corn for the tractor, but they evidently don't know what corn is here. They don't have any here, so. Anyway, that didn't work, and the water's pretty low. I did try to take out some. I found the dam and took some out, some of it out, so. Anyway, well, there I got a conibear down in there. That's not bothered. And then where they're mudding this up, I got a really good set down there, I thought. Well, that's pretty shallow right now. There's a skim of ice all over. It got down to 20 last night. Then on the other side, it was too steep. It just dropped off into nowhere, so I just put one on the trail and covered it up with a little grass and little leaves. That didn't work. So then I came down here. I had one more trap, so I threw it down here. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't know. Could be covered up with silt. I'm not sure. Looks like there was some kind of a tussle out in the water there. So, we'll see here. Well, the trap's gone. So, if I get turned around here. Well, now I can't find my droning rod. That's not a good thing. Oh, happy day. Maybe that's it. Yep. Wow. And it's bent at an angle. Whatever that means. Maybe there is something on there. Oh yeah, that's not a... It's not another baby, I'll tell you that. That's that's the mother there. We got the old gal. Now if I can get her up the bank here. Ugh. Jeepers creepers. Ugh. Holy balls. I gotta put this in behind her here. That's a big one. I don't know, man. Now I gotta get up this slippery frozen grass. Oh, I'm stuck in the mud. Yeah, this is fun and games. I hope that stake will hold her there. While I get out of here, I don't know, I swear I didn't have this much trouble when I was 50 or 60 years old. I wasn't going to get my new pants dirty. I guess that was a dream. Jeepers creepers, that's steep. Okay, now I'm gonna have to weigh that one. Hoofda. How can it be so tiring just getting up a hill? Jeez. I don't know where she's hiding all of her weight. Let's see. The last big one I caught in here had a leg missing. And years ago I read somewhere that there's bachelor beaver, don't breed anymore, live by themselves, don't stock supply any food for the winter, and they just swim down and steal from the colony that put the food up for the winter. And they already don't get along with anybody, and they're old and they're big. And I've always believed that. The females a lot of times are bigger than the males. But when I catch one of them bachelor beaver, they're huge. I've got a lot of them over 70 pounds. Not 80, but over 70. 71, 72, 73, right in there. But I think this beaver's 70 pounds. Oh, we'll wait when we get back, but I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna go to the store before I came out here, and I thought, well, ice on the water probably won't have nothing, so. Well, anyway, she's not gonna help repair the dam if I tear it apart a little more anyway. The rest of them will try, I suppose, but anyway, I don't know how to film any more of this. I got to get her back to the pickup, and I don't know if I want to set this trap over or not. It's supposed to get down to 18 or 20 again tonight, I think. Well, maybe they might come to see what happened to Mama, so I better try to set it. So that's it for now. I think we're gonna try to do something, but that dam shows me that they've raised the water level in here. In this spot here is the lowest. That's why they're here. I'd say some of this water is over 5 feet out here. That's why I'm not even going to put on my waders and try to do anything there. We're going to have to snare them through the ice, and the walking path is right on the other side, so everybody walks with their dogs, so I can't trap on that side. So, oh, my phone's ringing. Another spam. Well, I got a guy coming to film with me. I'm not good at this at all. This place is always made me wonder. I know a guy that did try trapping in here, and then they told me he took the beaver out a couple years ago, and then they still cut a tree down, so they had me in here. I took out 4 the first night, so they weren't all gone. Now I caught that big female yesterday. I didn't film anymore yesterday. So now I seen a skunk track. So, and I don't want a raccoon in these traps, so I'm gonna see if I can catch a skunk here. I don't know. Might work, might not. I just don't know. I don't really like this cage. I love everything about it except if they start jumping around in there, it tips upside down and then the door falls open. So anyway, what I did here, I found the dam and I took out part of the corner, and since I caught that big female and that little guy, there's no sign of a beaver here. So I don't know if this guy's been in here trying to trap again or what. Where I broke it was fixed, sort of like, but it could have just been stuff that... Okay, now it was windy. We're not going to try to talk much, but my cameraman here is going to hold the camera and see if we caught anything here. I don't see it. I should have my hip boots on, but of course I don't. That's so I can get my pants muddier. Oh, happy day. Try this again. Heavier than an empty trap. Yeah. because I couldn't have got this old in 6 months. These are really getting heavy for me. I'm not even 82 yet. So, anyway, got a little more beaver meat for fisher season today. And I like to do some beaver, some venison and scraps. And so anyway, I peeked over the hill and we got another one over there. So this looks like probably the male. If I get him up the hill, we'll take him out and we'll look at him later. Okay. Alright. Finally got the camera on. This doesn't look like the one where I had the trap. But I brought some more stuff today. I like this one here. Come over here, Ellen. Can you see that? They've been coming up here. I don't know if they'll still come in here, but they might. We're going to set this up. That's why I brought another trap along. I think mine must be over here. They follow me through the weeds here. I don't know where it's at. I think it's here. Oh. Got another beaver. One more beaver. Yeah, they are coming up here yet, so we might have to set up several of these. I don't know how many beaver are in here, but that took care of that one. So, and then I love walking through this tall crap. I forgot my setter again. I took it to the other place where we had leg holds. I'm over here. There, now you're pointing at me. That's okay. Anyway, we got it. We'll look at them later when we get home.